man, a powerful week here on Bitcoin. Is this weekly candlestick going to suggest that we could be heading back to all-time highs and beyond this week on Bitcoin and altcoins? Altcoins could be set for a huge pump over the next 5 to 6 days, and it's important that you do not miss it. If you appreciate the type of content, smash up the likes. Do not forget to subscribe. If you want to trade altcoins and see my exact move, ijazcrypto.com/TG, make sure you're in there. Now, if you take a look at this falling wedge pattern on Bitcoin, a falling wedge, we managed to break above it on Wednesday, a big 7.4% day, and then we managed to confirm above it. Now, you guys know that the first price point, the first price target of a move like this is 71,000. The next one works you back to all-time highs at 74,000, and then finally your extended move price target brings you up towards 90,000. Hugely exciting, but it's important that we manage the risk on both sides. It's important that we understand that we've seen time and time again that these can be flush outs where it takes away the overzealous longs and then wants to flush out all the way back down to the downside. So what I'm going to do in this video is try to frame what I'm seeing in the charts, because the reality is we can't always be concerned about upside and downside. We need to evaluate what is it we're seeing and which way do we want to play this. And when I look at the charts and what I'm seeing right now, I've got a bias for this week to the long side. I'm sitting here looking at the chart structures, looking at this breakout here on Bitcoin, and I'm thinking this wants to move. This is in the move to move, because the reality is when you've had a pullback like Bitcoin has from highs there all the way down here, that's a 23% move, guys. It's corrected 23% from all-time highs already. But naturally, whenever Bitcoin pulls back, you always get this cluster of people who are so nervous to kind of be in the market that they're always calling for lower price points. And ultimately, those are the people that end up missing out on powerful moves on Bitcoin, like this potential move up towards all-time highs, but then towards 90,000, right? That's certainly not a train I'd want to be standing in front of, and that's certainly not something I'd want to be shorting, is Bitcoin here when it's got the chance to be working its way up towards 90,000. Now, the other thing that's interesting is if we start taking away some of the lines and bringing out our EMA ribbon, you will see that this is a good move. This is a nice move on Bitcoin. Remember, we're in a period of consolidation where we're above EMA ribbon, then below, then above, then below. Now we managed to break above, but then confirm it. We've been above it for a couple of days now, showing a good confirmation above the EMA ribbon. And in fact, you can start to see the EMA ribbon flippening bullish, where the lighter colored lines are crossing back over the darker colored lines. So this is a really positive move here on Bitcoin. But where things really do get interesting is sitting here on the weekly chart. And when we're sitting here on the weekly chart, you'll notice something really, really clear. But before I show you what I think is going to happen here, we need to understand that the macroeconomic calendar doesn't have too many trip-ups this week. We don't have any major CPI reading. We don't have any major jobs figures. We do have a few of those pesky Fed officials speaking, though, so we do need to watch out for those. There's a bunch of Fed officials speaking throughout the week. And also on Wednesday, there is one event, which is the FOMC minutes, which, of course, you need to be very aware of as well. Now, it's important. Don't let people misconstrue this into being a new FOMC meeting. It's not. It's the minutes from the previous meeting. Hold up! Do you want to learn how to trade? Then you need to jump into our Telegram community. Link is in the description. In our Telegram community, I share my altcoins. I share how I do my trade setups, how I do my stop losses and take profit, so you can learn to become a profitable trader. Check it out. Link is in the description. Now, that doesn't mean it can't throw a red herring. It can, but really what you're looking for is, was there any dissent in that meeting? Was there anybody kind of, saying, no, we need to keep rates higher for longer. We need to really keep hiking, because that's what's going to affect the market. So we need to keep an eye on those FOMC minutes. And of course, if there is any update from those, I'll be bringing them to you guys in real time, but also in our Telegram community, which is why it's so important you're subscribed to all the different platforms in our community. So when we come back here to the weekly, I sit here and look at this weekly chart, and I can't help but to feel bullish here. I mean, it's important. When this price point was here at 74,000, I remember making a video saying, guys, this needs to call off. Do not chase green candles. And so I remember when this was here, this candle was really nice and green, right? During this week, when this was going all the way up towards all-time highs, right? When it was breaking through all-time highs. And then look, later in the week, you end up with a doji candle, which is where the bears came in. If you've taken my TA course, ijazcrypto.com/TA, and they came in and they turned this candle into an indecision candle, which is normally the sign of a reversal, a doji candle. And of course, we got that reversal. We got a 23% pullback all the way into this week towards the end of April, where we fell as low to 56.5. So we're talking about 73k plus down to 56.5. And that is a proper flush out, guys. That's a proper pullback. And now, of course, I know there's some people shouting for more. And like I've said in previous videos, I don't actually mind if there's more, right? If it wants to come down into the EMA ribbon, this is still an okay pullback. I mean, it can fall a bit more. If it wants to go, I mean, it already went down to 56.5. If it wants to go another 10% down into the EMA ribbon, it's still okay. That would be a 30% pullback from all-time highs. But right now, when you look at the charts, I can't see it. We've already touched the EMA ribbon. We had a weak week the previous week, but then look at this week. This candlestick here, guys, if it closes where it is roughly now in the next kind of 9 hours when the weekly candlestick closes, this is known as a bullish engulfing candle. This is known as a reversal candle. Just like a doji is known as a reversal candle, this normally indicates a big reversal as well. It shows that the bulls have outsized momentum now versus the bears. So this is a really strong, and it's not just slightly a bullish engulfing candle, it's almost double the size of this candle. That was a 4% down week the previous week and an 8.7% week the week after, right? That's a huge bullish engulfing candle, which shows that the momentum has swung. And that's certainly one of the reasons why I wouldn't want to bet against a move back up towards all-time highs. So when we now take off our EMA ribbon and we start to see the lines that we had drawn, I would not want to be betting against this pattern, right? The first price target up towards that 71 level, next price target up towards the highs at around that 73,000 level, and then ultimately working our way towards 90,000, right? It's important to remember we also had positive Bitcoin ETF inflows coming in last week as well. That's keeping a lot of excitement in the market. If money flows into the market, this market does well. Very, very important. Now, a quick note on altcoins. It may be that this week Bitcoin wants to do well and altcoins will struggle. I mean, you've seen Bitcoin dominance here jump up very powerfully over the last handful of weeks. I mean, if you just take here to here, you've got a big move on that. Let me just take the measuring tool and take this move. Look at this move on dominance. It's a very powerful move here, 4% move here on dominance. Now, we need to watch. Last time it got rejected around this area. Will the same here happen for Bitcoin? Will it get rejected, or will Bitcoin continue to show strength versus altcoins? Either way, I don't mind. Right? It's important that we understand that Bitcoin has to show strength. It's good for Bitcoin to show strength because altcoins follow in the steps that Bitcoin creates. If Bitcoin goes up towards 90,000, there's no way altcoins won't do well. So there's no need to sit there worrying about this altcoin season. I feel like people kind of worry about it too much. It's good to know when Bitcoin's moving, when altcoins are moving, but the only reason people watching care so much about altcoin season is because they don't hold Bitcoin. You need to eat some veg. You need to hold some Bitcoin Ethereum. That way you can benefit from when these two tokens are doing well. But then, of course, when altcoin season is popping off, you need some of your favorite altcoins as well. The other structure I wanted to share with you guys was this. Now, this was the original channel we were in. Now, of course, you can adjust it and you can start getting this kind of falling channel, which we got a breakout. But I don't like changing my charts either. I like leaving them so we can see the history of what happened, which is that we had a fake out to the downside and then we recovered. And then we came back down again. We bounced. We went past the center line. Remember I said this was the important center line? Now we need to consolidate and bounce off that level. Think of a springboard, right? Remember, we came from here all the way down, and after we came all the way down there, we showed some weakness. But then we bounced, and when we bounced, it was at this point here that we showed weakness. It was at this point here where I started making videos saying, guys, get ready, we're gonna flush out, and then boom, we flushed out, and then we recovered. We managed to recover again, great. But when we recover this time, we still got to face the resistance from this level. And that's exactly what we managed to break out of on Friday. We managed to break through on that candlestick, that resistance there, which is why this moment here was so important. Now we need to bounce, use that as a springboard, get up towards that 69, 70,000 level and start breaking out of this big pattern. That's where we're going to get the real big move, is when we start extending this move. Because look, if you take just the conservative extended move here, let's just take that there, up and towards there, apply that to the point of breakout, you start to see the kind of price targets we're working with. And again, these aren't just me shouting out price targets. These are measured moves, right? $92,000 here on Bitcoin. These aren't just people shouting out, oh, Bitcoin's going to go to 100,000, it's going to go to 150,000. No, this is the chart showing us patterns. And that's the beautiful thing about where Bitcoin is right now. It's in such a bullish kind of phase right now that you can see price targets that can work yourself up to 80,000, 90,000. These are not just theoretical numbers which we're just shouting out for no reason. The structures are showing that Bitcoin can head for its next move, and that's certainly not something I want to be sitting out of right now. So, exciting week coming up. Fed officials speaking, of course. Hopefully they don't rug pull the markets. But other than that, can Bitcoin follow up its 8.5% week this week with another strong week as we break towards all-time highs? If you appreciate this type of content, guys, even on a Sunday, smash up the likes. Do not forget to subscribe. Make sure you go watch this video here, and I'll see you in the next one.